think we can all remember there was a time in the United States where your neighbors weren't just people that you spoke to, that you built genuine relationships with. And I would say in the places where Hurricane Milton happened, and the other hurricane I can't think off of the top of my head, sorry you all. Yeah, Helene, there it goes. That to some degree that was true. Here is why, pardon my throat, just hadn't been feeling so well today. Here's why those relationships are going to become way more important in modern times. Imagine that you lived through those two disasters and you feel despair because you either couldn't get out for financial reasons or tried to get out and it was too late, or you got out, went back to your house and found out you have nothing left or practically nothing left. Imagine going back to your home and you have to be careful cleaning up post-disaster because you never know what lies beneath all that rubble. And by that, I mean you never know if you're going back into a house filled with alligators, because this really happened to people. I would imagine pythons if you're living in Florida, or just venomous snakes in general if it's Hurricane Milton up in the Carolinas. Imagine going back home and you're not so sure if people may have taken something from your home because they lacked in their home now that this disaster's happened. Imagine trying to go back to your home and the streets leading to your home for miles have all been destroyed, so you can't get to your house. Or imagine being so sick and frail that you can't lift a finger to do the things you have, either because you had been sick and you're recovering or because you have a disability. To top that all off, you find out that certain people feel they shouldn't have to help you based on a sign hanging outside of your house. See, this story's gonna get complicated, y'all, and this is why. According to the person who works for FEMA who got fired, okay, this story is misleading, because this person is claiming that they only said this because higher ups told them to, and that it had been a wide practice that if you saw signs of certain candidates outside of certain homes, you were instructed to not help those people. In her defense on the Roland Martin podcast, I believe it is, she said there were also times when they couldn't go to the opposite liberal homes with the people voting for the other side because they all got hostility as well. Okay. And that this practice of avoiding homes based on the candidate that just won. Now, mind you, both these hurricanes hit during the election, but no one was elected yet. Again, my cold, my bad. So, keeping that in mind, right, that there was no election yet, this discrimination was happening. The person that was fired is claiming, okay, that other people within higher positions were also told to avoid those homes and that they got receipts as proof. So this is a story in progress. I think this is hardly done, because I was prepared to make this video chewing her butt out, because a person's political sign doesn't change the fact that their home has been destroyed, that they don't know where their next shower and meal is going to come from, that they're in despair. And imagine if you can't even get to your house because whole neighborhoods, whole streets are gone. Based on her interview, I'm going to wait out the evidence. What I am going to say, though, is that if you go and read this story, you can see her text messages that she sent. And although there could be some truth to the fact that she was told to do something this egregious, the fact remains that the physical text came from her phone, meaning she is responsible for that. If your bosses tell you to do something unscrupulous and you choose to do it of your own free will, you still chose to do it. And people are like, well, I want my paycheck so bad. No. I need these benefits. No, you still made that choice to do it. I don't care who you voted for. If you live in the disaster areas where those hurricanes hit, it's hard out here for everybody. I don't care what your race and gender. It's hard out here. Why would y'all even think it's remotely okay? I couldn't have worked for this person, because if I go to somebody's home and I'm out and I see that they are in distress, I can't see myself turning a blind eye because that person wasn't going to vote for who I think they were going to vote for. We've jumped the shark here at this point. We've hit a very low point to have gotten here to where we're not going to help people solely for who they voted for. And there's two sides to this story. And if what she says is true, she wasn't the only one instructed to do that. The best way I can tell you, if you're listening to this right now, to mitigate that is if you know you live in disaster zones. This ain't the time to play dumb about this stuff anymore, okay? You've got to have a disaster preparedness plan. See it as a worst case scenario in case you have to get out. This is if you're a person who reasonably don't care about your neighbors, but you would be willing to lift a hand if you have to. Have a contingency plan. Everybody's like, get in your car and go where? Go to safety, go to high ground, go to life. See, I tell you, I usually take these stories in a direction you all don't think I'm going to take them. When you live in these areas, okay, don't get drastic and wait till things go bad to suddenly need your neighbors. If you know you live in these disaster areas. Or if not your neighbor, someone else in a nearby neighborhood. Get out, make connections, and get to know people. And as an introvert, I can tell you this ain't easy for me because I've had to go out and start doing it. At farmers markets, at different, and in different locations. At freaking, I won't say exhibitions, but that could be it. I'm doing things out of my comfort zone because I'm prepping myself to be uncomfortable for the event that it can get more uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Because these people are sitting up here fighting while you're struggling. What does this tell y'all? And you had to get down into the depths of despair to realize that they don't care. What does this tell y'all? They're too busy fighting and wanting to have investigations on who refused to help people. Rightfully so, because if you're listening right now and you were in that disaster, you were struggling. And in an ideal, perfect world, your own country should want to come and help you. And they did not. But what I'm telling you is what little money that you can scrape together, because there are people who even make videos on how to get survival things on YouTube at dollar stores. These people care more about fighting than helping you. You are on your own. Not because you should be, but because the way these people act suggests that you are. Learn from this. What little you can do, get a plan or have a plan in the future once you get back on your feet. If you're going to live in disaster areas, and know that you're going to need your neighbors and you're going to need a helping hand in the time of need. Because what these people showed you in 2024 is that they're too busy stuck on trivial things, insignificant things, to care about helping you.